If you're going to be using Notion to run your business, a well-constructed CRM is key. It's going to be the centerpiece for your entire Notion workspace, and it's going to allow you to see the companies you're working with, the amount of revenue that you're bringing in, and the people that you're working with on a daily basis, and all of their contact information. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a CRM from scratch. My name is Ben Taylor, and I'm a 3-time certified Salesforce consultant that has helped 50 plus companies implement Salesforce and maintain it, as well as I'm a Notion expert. We're going to be leaning on my CRM experience in this build. If you're new to Notion and you need me to slow down during the video, what you can do is come to the settings and then set the playback speed to 0.75 or 0.5 so it can go a little bit slower for you as you're learning everything from scratch. And you're more than welcome to rewind in certain parts. Before we start the build, make sure to like and subscribe because I'm going to be sharing more videos in the future on how to build onto the functionality of this exact CRM template we're going to be building together. Let's jump right into it. So to start off with our build of our CRM, you're going to come over to the left-hand side and you're going to create a new page. And we're going to create a blank page. And then this page that we're going to be creating is going to house all of our databases and our views. So we're going to name it CRM Home. Then you're going to select Empty Page. And then for the CRM Home, we're going to come up here to the top right, and we're going to make this full width. Then we're going to come here to the body of the page. And we're going to first start off with our company database, also known as accounts. And what this is going to house is all of the companies that we're working with. And this is going to be the most important database that we're creating here. And it's going to be at the top of the hierarchy, and we're going to set it up strategically to pass down information to the rest of our CRM. To create this database, we're going to do a slash, and then we're going to search for page. The name of this is up to your preference. You can either name it accounts or you can name it companies. You're then going to select table. And then we're going to, on the right-hand side, select create new database. Then here where it says table, let's change this to all view. So we're going to have one view where we can see all of our accounts. And then here you can select the icon and add whatever one you like. For accounts, I like to choose this building one here for the cityscape. Then let's go ahead and get rid of this tags property. So let's click on it and then just select delete property. So to start off, we're just going to create an account and we're just going to name it Google. And let's go ahead and add some properties on here. So press the plus button here and then come over to the right-hand side. And the first thing that we're going to create is the type of relationship that we have with Google. So here we're going to write in a relationship. And then for options, obviously they can be specific to your business. But some ones that I typically like to enter are prospect, customer, partner, former customer, and finally competitor. Then if you want to go ahead and change the color code of any of these, all you have to do is just click on them and then you can select a new color. So for this one, let's go ahead and change it from red to light gray. And then I don't really like this yellow color, so we're going to change it to purple. And then we're going to change this one to green. And then former customer, we're going to change that one to red. Next property we're going to create is we're going to add a URL for the company website. And we can just type in website here for that. And then we're going to add in person. And instead of being named person, we're actually going to change it to be owner. And you're going to use this to signify who exactly on your team owns this certain account and works with them on a daily basis. So I went ahead and marked myself as the owner for this one. Let's go ahead and fill in some of this information. So this is www.google.com. And then the relationship is, let's say that they are a customer. Now let's add the number of employees. So come over here and we're going to add a number property. And we're going to name this one employee and then just do the number symbol. And then that should be enough for us for now. Obviously, if there's some unique things that you track for your business for companies, definitely go ahead and add those as properties. But one thing also we want to do here is the relationship and the owner is going to be really important for us. So we're going to freeze up to the owner column. So have relationship and owner as the first two, and then we're going to freeze up to column. And that makes it so whenever we add some more fields here on the right-hand side, that we're always going to see that relationship in owner property, so we never forget about that. Next up, let's continue to lay the foundation of the CRM. And so we're going to come up here to the breadcrumbs, and we're going to select CRM home. And then underneath accounts and companies, we're going to create another database, and we're going to name this one contacts, or you could also name this database people. Really up to your preference. And then we're going to create a table. Again, we're going to create a new database over here on the right-hand side. And then let's remove this tag property. We're going to create another view that is for all. So I'm going to name this one all. And then for context, let's go ahead and give the symbol of like a person. So let's choose this one. Then you can also add an icon up here in the top left for the database, and we're going to give it that same symbol. And so I'm going to enter my name in here. So name is Ben Taylor, and then let's store some information about me. So we're going to create another property, and then we are going to first enter what my title is. And we're going to enter in founder. Then after title, we're going to create another property. And what we're going to do is we're going to just do a select. And we're going to name this status. And what we're going to use this status for is representing if we've contacted this person before, if they're unqualified, so that whenever we're bringing up views and we want to do some either marketing or sales outreach, we have a good idea of whether or not we should reach out to this person. So we're going to add the option. First off, we're going to do unqualified. Then let's add in another one for do not contact. So we can have a list of people that we want to make sure we don't include in our marketing outreach. Let's add another status that is called working. So we can signify to the rest of our team that we are actively working with this person. Let's also add new to represent that we haven't reached out to this person yet and that someone should. And that should be good for now. You always can add some more that are specific to you. But let's go ahead and select me as new for my status for now. And then let's add in some more contact information. So we're going to do phone number. And then you're also going to add in email. Next up, we need to be able to signify exactly who I work for. And the way that we can do that in Notion is by creating a relation property. So we're going to create a relation property, and what we're going to search for is that company's database here on the right hand side, and we're going to select that one that we just created, and we're going to select it. And then here you have the option, you can limit it to just one page, or there's no limit, so you can relate to multiple accounts. For this, let's go ahead and select we can only relate to one account. And then we also want to show it on the account/company database. And so we're going to relate this one here as contacts/people. And this is going to allow us to see it on that previous database that we just created. I'm going to select add relation. And then here on my relation, we're going to go ahead and add Google. Now that we have that relation, what we can do is we can actually pull down data from Google onto my record so that we're able to see, whether or not Google is a customer and any other relevant information for your business. So over here on the right-hand side, we're again going to create a new property, and then we're going to select rollup. For relation, you're going to select accounts/companies. And then you're going to select property. And what we're going to pull over first is that relationship that we have with that account, so we can see that they're a customer. And show original is just fine for this type of rollup. And then for where it says rollup here, we're going to rename this, and we're going to name it to company relationship. And now we're going to create another roll-up property, which is going to show you exactly why accounts and companies should be at the top of the hierarchy in our CRM. And we are going to come here and we're going to create roll-up, and then we're going to select accounts and companies again. But this time for the property, we're going to select owner. And then you're going to show the original, and then we're going to change this one to owner. And so that means anybody who is tied to the Google account and is a contact will be owned by the person that we set the owner on the account level. Now, this is going to help you make sure over the long term of using the CRM that you have the best data integrity and that the owners of certain contacts and accounts don't become misaligned. So we're going to pull an owner over here to the left-hand side. Then we're going to pull status here too to the left side. Then we're going to finish off this contacts and people database by adding in some fields that will allow us to get a pulse on, when are people editing, as well as be able to better connect with external systems, maybe in the future if you want to use like a tool like Make or Zapier. So we're going to add in created time, created by, last time edited, and then last edited by. And then finally, we're going to add in ID as well. And because we forgot to do that on the company database, let's go ahead and do that as well. So just select these four. So created time, created by, and then last time edited, and last edited by, and finally that ID. And then while you're here, by default, Notion's always going to create 3 records whenever you're creating a new database. Let's go ahead and remove these just so they aren't annoying us. And then let's go into the contacts and people one, and let's remove that here too as well. And one thing I forgot to do is let's move this company relationship over to the left-hand side because this is pretty important. And then let's select on company relationship. Let's freeze up to column so that when we go ahead and scroll, we're always able to see that status and relationship. All right, next up, let's go back to CRM home, and then we are going to create a new page, and we're going to create a database. So we're going to do a slash again and then page, and then we are going to name this one deals, or also people like to call them opportunities as well. Once you've entered what you want to name it, then let's select table. And then we're going to do a new database. And again, we're going to rename this and we're going to name it all. And then let's come here and we're going to search for the money sign. And let's select this cash. And then up here, we're also going to select cash. And then let's remove this tags column, delete it. And then we're going to add in a property and we're going to do a select. And for this one, this is going to be called stage. And what we're going to use this stage property for is recognizing exactly where the deal is in for our process. Go ahead and start adding some stages. So for the first one, we're going to do prospecting. And then for the second, let's do discovery. And then for number 3, let's do proposal. Number 4, we're going to do negotiation. And then we're going to do close won and close lost. And close won is whenever you've won the deal, and lost is going to be able to signify in your CRM whenever you've lost deals, and will help you identify some ones that you're losing and where you and your sales team could possibly improve your sales process. But we're going to come up here and we're going to start ordering these. So we're going to do it in 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to want to perhaps change the colors of these. So I like to personally do green for close won because it recognizes that you've won some money. And then for close lost, let's choose this one as red. And then the red and this color are kind of similar. So I'm going to change that up. And we're just going to do this one as blue to start off for prospecting. And then next up, we're going to create another select. And this time we're going to name it type. And what we're going to use this property for is being able to recognize whether this is a completely new deal with a company where you've never won a deal with them before, or it might be a repeat customer. So for add option, we're going to select new, and then we're also going to create one that is named repeat, or some people also like to call it renewal. Really up to your preference. Then we're going to add a new text field, and what we're going to use this one for is we're going to call it next step, and it could be used for just recognizing where you're at with the deal and just letting the rest of your team know this is what we need to do to be able to close this just quickly by glancing in Notion views. So for the next step for deals, what we need to do is we need to create a relationship to our companies and account database, and then as well as the contacts that are associated with our deals. So we're going to press the plus button here, and then we're going to come to relationship again, and we are going to add accounts and companies. For the limit, because there could be multiple deals associated with a company over time, we're going to leave that at no limit. And then for show on accounts/companies, we're going to turn that on. And then we're just going to name this one deals to make it easy, and then add relationship. Now let's connect contacts. So again, we're going to come here to relation, and then we're going to select contacts and people. And then because again, multiple people can be related to a deal, no limit. And then for show on contacts and people, let's turn that on. And then let's name this one deals again, and then add that relationship. So to play around with some data here, what we're going to do is we're going to create a opportunity here, and we're just going to name this one Google. And we're going to say that this is a new deal that we're working. So we're just going to do / and new. And I like to follow this type of naming convention just so it's like kind of easy to recognize some important data. We're going to select the stage as prospecting. We're going to select the type as new. And then let's say the first step we might have is reach out over email. And then we're going to create that relationship with Google. And then we're also going to tie that to my contact. And then while we're here, let's go ahead and add in some of those created time and other kind of admin level fields. So add created time, created by, last edited time, last edited by, and then let's also get that ID in there. And looking at this right now, you're probably wondering, like, how are you going to signify what is the amount of this? And to create a CRM that's going to be great for the long term, there's actually a little bit more complexity that we need to add in for these deals. So we're going to create 2 additional databases that are going to be related to our products, and then our line items for our deals. So let's go back to the CRM home. And while we're here, I forgot to change this icon. If you haven't changed it already, to make it a little bit nicer, let's add that cityscape. And then I'm going to create a page, and then on this page we're going to create a new table, and we are going to name this one products/services. I know a lot of you listening out there have different types of businesses, so you might just be services, you might be product, or perhaps you're both. I personally do both products and services, so I'm going to show you how I do that. You can make it so it's just one of them. But then we're going to come here to the table, and we're going to rename it, and we're going to name it all. And then for this product, let's search for the barcode, and we're just going to select this barcode here. Then let's get rid of these 2 other ones here, and then we're going to remove the tag property, and then let's create another property, and I'm going to name this one type. So we're going to do select, and then type in type, and then here's where we're going to differentiate between whether it's a product or service. So we're going to name one product, and then we're going to do the other one service. Next up, we're going to create a number field. And what we're going to do is for this number format, we're going to change it to US dollar, or whatever currency you're watching from. And then for number, we're going to just change this to price. And then next up, we're going to add a checkbox field, and we're going to use this to signify whether or not this is a product that you're still selling. Or perhaps you've changed the price and have a new price for this product and you want to see how it affects your sales. That's where this checkbox is going to come into play. And you'll kind of see, once we get a little bit further in why this is necessary. But let's do active here. And then what we want to do is also create two date properties. So we're going to first name this one activated date. And then we're also going to create one that's called deactivated date. Okay, so now that we have those date fields in, I want to show you one of Notion's new automation capabilities and where that can come in handy here. So we're going to come up here to the top right side and we're going to select the lightning bolt. And what we're going to do is we're going to press the plus new automation. And then we're going to add a trigger. And we are going to do, whenever a page is added, we're automatically going to make the activated date equal today. So that just makes it so we don't have to manually do that every single time we're adding a new product or service. And then what you're going to do is name it. And we're going to name this one set activated date to today. Then let's select create. Once you've built that automation, another thing that you want to do is we're going to create a new automation and we also want to mark that checkbox as active. So we're going to add a trigger and we're going to select page added again. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make active automatically checked. Then for here, we're going to name it set to active and then let's create it. So now we have the two automations that we need for this. And let's go ahead and create both a product and a service together to show you how it works. And I'm just going to add in a couple products and services that I personally have, but welcome to fill in whatever you personally use for your company. And I'm going to name this one Notion Monthly Managed Services. And this is my consulting services that I personally use in my own CRM. And we're going to select service. And then for the price, we're going to put it at $2,000 a month. And then you can see automatically right when that database item was created, we checked it to active, and then the activated date was moved to today. We're going to create a product now, and then we're going to put it in as the OptiOp CRM. And this is the CRM that I personally sell, and we are going to change it to the type product. And then the price is going to be $30. And again, that active and activated date were automatically checked. And then there's going to add in again those admin fields. So we're going to do created time, created by, last edited time, last edited by, and then let's add in that ID as well. And then before I forget, let's add the icon and we're going to add the barcode. And then next, let's move on to line items. So we're going to go back to the CRM home. And then we're going to add in a new page. And then this one, we're going to name it line items. And if you want to make it more clear, you could do deal line items or opportunity line items. Actually, I'm just going to change it to deal line items for you guys. And then we're going to, again, create another database. And we're going to select table. We're going to select new database. We're going to, again, create an all view. And then for this one, let's go ahead, just search in receipt. And I'm going to choose this one. And then we're going to add the receipt icon here as well. And then let's remove the tag property. So to start off, we're going to first create some relationships with the other databases we've created that are going to matter to connect to this database. So we're going to, again, press the plus button, and then we're going to come down and select relation. And then we're going to connect it with products and services. And then we're going to do limit. And then we're going to show on product/services. And then I've been typing it in here. You could also just do add relation and it will automatically do whatever the name of this is. So let's just add relation. Then we're going to create another relationship, and this time we're going to relate it to our deals. So search for deals, and then we're going to do deals/opportunities, and then no limit again, and then we're going to show and just select add relation. Then leveraging the products and services relation, we're going to create a rollup, and we're going to name this one product price. And then we're going to search for the relation, and we're going to do product/services. And then for this, we're going to select price, and then we're going to select sum. Next up, we're going to create another property, and it's going to be a number property, and we're going to change this to $. And then for this, we're going to name it deal price. And then we're going to create another field, and it's going to be a formula field, which is the first one we've created so far together. And what we're going to name this one is discount amount. And we're going to use this to recognize if we have a certain list price for a service, and then we go ahead and give a discount to one of our customers to be able to close the deal, we can track over time how much in discounts we've given. So we're going to select edit formula here. And what we're going to do is you're going to search for product price, and then you're going to subtract it by that deal price. Going to select done. And then let's also pull in some important information over that isn't related to the price too. So what we're going to do is we're going to come here and we're going to create another rollup, and then we're going to select product/services. And then we are going to pull over the type of product it is. Then we're going to just show the original. And then we're going to name it product/service. Next up, we're going to create another rollup, and what this is going to be used for is signifying where the opportunity is that's tied, what is its stage. So we're going to name this one deal/opportunity stage. And then for the relation, we're going to select deals/opportunities. And then for the property, what we're going to do is we're going to get that stage, and then we're just going to show the original. Now let's start filling in some of this data here. So for products and services, we are going to choose the Notion monthly managed services. And then for the deals and opportunities, we're going to tie it to Google. Then let's say that we gave them a little bit of a discount. We're going to say it was actually a $1,600 deal. You can see that was turned into 400. And it actually looks like I forgot to make that into a US dollar. So make sure you go ahead and do that as well. And then you can see that the opportunity stage is automatically pulled over. And we also have what the type is. So it's a service. While we're here, let's go ahead again and add in all of those admin fields. So time created by, last edited time, and then last edited by, and finally ID. And then let's remove these two random ones and then delete them. And we're going to name this deal line item Notion monthly managed services. And now we're finished with the deal line items. There's a few things that I want to come in together and clean up that I missed. And that is on the accounts and companies. What we want to do here is we actually want to create a field that is going to be a select. And we want to mark this one as lead source. Then we're going to add some options here. So for lead source, some common ones I see is paid ad, website, social media, email, referral, event, and cold call. And now that we have lead source created, let's go ahead and we're just going to choose that, say I'm at Google at an event. So we're going to select event. And then let's go back to the CRM home, and we're going to go over to deals and opportunities. We're going to come over here and create a rollup. And what we're going to do is we're going to name this one account lead source. And then for relation, what we're going to do is we're going to select that accounts and companies database. And then we're going to look for lead source, and we're just going to pull that down through the rollup. This will allow you to track for the opportunities that you've won or lost. What are the best lead sources for your business? We're going to go back to the CRM home. And we're just going to create one final piece to this. You know, you can keep building on it. If you want to add things, I'll be sharing future videos on how to add on top of this CRM. So make sure you subscribe for that. But if you come here, let's go ahead and we're going to create a new page and we're going to select it. But this time, instead of just selecting table, we're actually going to select templates. And we're going to use Notion's standard projects and task template. Once you select project and task, we're going to come down here to get template. And I definitely recommend using Notion's standard project and task template because it comes with some additional functionality than just creating a regular database. But you can see they've laid out some views already for us here. So we can do by project, board, all tasks. And if we come back here to the CRM home, you can see that now we have a task database and a projects database. I'm going to go ahead and change these icons to be the same color that we're using for the other one. So we're going to do a search for the target here. I'm going to make that one dark. And then for a task, I'm going to do a checkbox. Select that. But what you could do here is relate your projects to companies, as well as you can relate tasks to companies. But you could also relate it to, contacts as well as some of the deals you're working. But just for the sake of time, I'm just going to show you how to do one. And if you really want to move forward with adding on all the other ones, you definitely can. So for projects, what we're going to do is we're going to come here and we're going to create a relationship, and we're going to look for that accounts and companies database. And then we're going to do no limit, and then we're going to show it and do add the relationship. And then we're going to come back to the CRM home, and we're going to do the same thing for tasks. So we're going to do the plus, and then we're going to create a relationship, and we're going to select accounts and companies, show, add relationship. And then once that relationship has been created, we have officially laid the entire foundation for the entire CRM. And now it's time to create views and templates to make the database more functional as well as look better. So we're back on the home page, and obviously we have a lot of databases here that we've created. And what we want to do next is create database templates for these databases. So whenever you click into a record, it's a lot easier for you to put together all of the data. Because we have accounts at the very top and everything is mostly going up and relating to that, what we're going to do is we are going to create a database template there, and then we'll work on some other ones. So we're going to select accounts/companies. And then to create a database template, you come over here to the right-hand side, and next to new, we're going to hit the drop down, and then we're going to select new template. For this, we're going to add an icon, and we are going to choose that cityscape icon here. And then for this, we're going to name it new account. Then you can see some of this data is a little unorganized, so we are going to move it around so it makes sense. So we're going to move owner up to the top. Let's move some of those admin fields down to the bottom, and then keep dragging these down. And then for any of these that have an arrow on it, what I like to do is I like to create them as their own page sections. So if you come here and you click, there's these 6 little circles. What you can do is you can show as page section. So let's do that for each of the relationship properties. Get that out of our views. And whenever you do that, it adds them down here. And you'll see once we add a relation, you'll be able to see that data a little bit more clearly once we add them as a page section. Then let's move ID down to the bottom as well. And let's bring up lead source and relationship. And then we don't want to see last edited time and all these fields every single time whenever we click into these views. So we're also going to again click on these 6 circles. And for property visibility, we're going to move each one to always hide. And then these are pretty important to see, so we're going to keep those. Now we're going to come down here and we're going to start creating some automations to automatically create relationships with opportunities and contacts to be tied to this account. So we're going to do / and then we're going to look up button. And then we're going to name this one new related opportunity. And then we are going to give the money icon sign here. And then we are going to add a step. So we're going to add a page 2 as our first action. And then we're going to select a database that we want to add to, and we're going to select deals. So look for deals and opportunities. And then we can just leave the name blank, but let's go ahead, and this is the most important thing that we're doing here is for accounts/companies, we're going to automatically, whenever we're on a new account, we're going to relate this page. Then for stage, we're going to select prospecting. We're just going to put it in that first stage. And then you just create that new record, and default in Notion, it's not just going to automatically open it up for you. So we're going to add another step, and we're going to just open that page that we just created. So where it says open select page, let's select the new page that was added. And you can open the page in center peak, side peak, or full page. I prefer center peak, but it's totally up to you how you'd like to do that. And then let's also create a button for adding contacts to this account. So again, we're going to do /button. And then for this, we're going to name it new related contact. Let's search for the contact icon. We're going to select this one. And then for add step, it's going to be similar to the last one, but just for contacts. So we're going to add page 2. Then we're going to select database, and we're going to find contacts. Select contacts/people. We're not going to name this one, but then for the account/company, similar to opportunities, we're just going to go ahead and relate this page. And then for the status, we're going to set them as new. And then again, we want to make sure that we open that page, and we're going to open it up in center peak. So we're going to select new page added here, open in center peak, and then done. And then let's make these buttons look a little bit better. So we're going to do a /, and then we're going to do a call out. And then for this icon here, I like to create sections here that just reference that these are quick adds. So let's look up like a rabbit to signify that it's fast. And then I'm going to name this section quick add. Then let's highlight it, and we're going to change it to bold and underscore. Under the quick add, we're just going to drag new related opportunity and new contact here. And then I won't waste your time, but you could obviously do that for adding a quick project that's related to it, as well as tasks. But I think you get the point on how to do that. But now we're going to start creating some views. So we're going to do / and we're going to do database. And we are going to select the table view. And then we are going to do one that is for deals. And what we're going to do is whenever you're on an account or company, you're going to be able to see all the deals that were related to that specific account. So we're going to do deals/opportunities. And then I like to remove this little title here. And above here, let's go ahead and press heading, and then just drag it on top. And we're going to name this related deals. And then the most important part here is we're going to filter down. And we want to filter down where the deals account contains this new account. We're going to save. And then we have some of those last edited by and like all of those fields. So let's go ahead and remove them so we just have the important stuff for an opportunity. So we're going to come here, and we're going to select properties. And we're going to get rid of pretty much all of this here. So let's get rid of last edited time, created by, created time, contacts and people, accounts and companies, and then these 4 should do. Next up, let's create another heading. And now we're going to show the related contacts. Again, underneath this, we're going to look up database. We're going to select table view. And then we are going to look for contacts, select contacts/people. Then you can hide this database table. And say you want to change it up and you want this view to look a little bit different. What you can do is we're going to click on here, and we are going to change the layout from a table to a gallery. And then for the gallery, we want to change the card preview just to be none. And we can change the card size to, medium actually is going to be fine here. And that should be good. And then we're going to filter down based on making sure that the contact's actual count is the one page that we're on. So we're going to select account/companies, and then we're going to select new account here. save for everyone. And actually, let's come back to the 3 circles, and we want to actually show some more properties here. So right now we're just showing name whenever there's a contact. We're also going to show the individual's email, and then let's also show the phone number, their status too, and finally, let's also add in their title. So what I would do was I would continue to go on, and for all of their relationships, I would just keep adding these underneath this database template, but that's a little repetitive. So we're just going to move on to the next thing, but I think you guys understand how to do this. But we're going to click out, and let's come to this Google record that we created a little bit ago. And now you can see that we created a database template. We have that database template available here. So I'm just going to select new account. It can take a little bit to load sometimes, but now you can see that it's loading, and we have those buttons. We have a new related contact, and if I come up here, I can switch it, and we can actually edit the view default here. So I want to make it so it's always center peak, and we can come down, and yeah, so you have Google here, you have that contact, you have the status, you can see that I'm the founder. Let's go ahead and let's say that we just want to use that button automation that we created, and we're going to just create a new quick related contact. So we're just going to press new related contacts here, and then we could name this person like Joe Smith. And then you can see here they're automatically related as Google for their account. One last piece here on account/companies that we need to take care of is we're going to come here to the database template, and you can see that the empty is the default. We want to make that new account, that database template that we just created, as the default. So we're going to set as default here, and then we're going to do it for all views. Now let's start creating database templates for some of the other databases. And the ones that we're going to do together are just going to be contacts and deals. And I think by doing those, you should be able to figure out how to take care of the rest. But we're going to select contact/people. And then again, we're going to come here to the top right, new template. And then we're going to name this one new contact. Again, we're going to change all of the relationships to page sections. So do show as page section. And then let's move all of the admin fields down to the bottom. And then go ahead and hide them as well. So always hide for each one of these. And then it looks like I missed this one. I'm going to go ahead and change this to as a page section, and then move owner up to the top, and that should be good. And for this one, we're not going to create any button automations. We're just going to create a view that's looking at the related account. So we're going to do /data table, and then we're going to look up for table view, and then we're going to select the account/companies database. And then we're just going to copy that existing view for now. Let's remove the database title, and we'll do a heading, and we'll drag it on top of it. And then we'll name this related account, pull it up here to the top, and then we're going to filter down based on contact/people contains new account. Then make sure you save that for everyone. And then for properties, we're going to come here and hide some of those fields that aren't important for us. So we're going to take out tasks, projects, deals. Let's take away that ID, last edited by, last edited time, created by, created time. And then also contact/people. And then that should be good. And then before we forget, let's make sure to add that icon. And we're going to search for icon, and let's choose that one we've been using for contacts. And then let's click out of here. And again, we're going to come to the drop down next to new, and we're going to select this one that we just created as the default. We're going to make it for all views and contacts/people. And then if we go into the Ben Taylor contact and we select new contact, you're able to see that I am related to the Google account. You can see all this information. Here in this, it's a little funky with the freeze up to column. So I'll probably just unfreeze this here in these types of views so it's a little easier for you to scroll. And then actually we'll do that here just like in the database template, because if we don't edit that here, then it's just going to go throughout every single new record you create. So let's select this, unfreeze columns, go back out. And then now when we come over to Joe Smith and you create a new contact, you can see that the columns are no longer frozen. Okay, now let's go ahead and create the database template for deals. So we're clicking to the deals database, and then we're gonna come to the right, create a new template. Let's add an icon. Let's make it the money icon. For the title, we're going to name it new deal. Then like we did previously, let's go ahead and make all of the relationships page sections. And then we're going to drag all of the admin fields to the bottom. And we are going to hide them like we've done before. And then for this one, just like we did for accounts, we're going to create some button automations. So do /button, and we are going to type in new related line item. Then we're going to match up with that icon that we used for line items. So we're going to select the receipt one, and then we're going to add a step, and we're going to add a page 2, and then we're going to select database, and then we're going to search for line items. And then this is the most important part. For deals / opportunities, what we're going to do is we're going to relate this page. And then let's add the step so that we open the page automatically. We're going to open up in center peak, but for select page, we're going to select new page added and then hit done. Then we're going to create a call out, and we're going to again find the rabbit icon, and then we're going to name it quick add. Let's bold and underline it. And then let's move new related line item below. Then we're going to do a / and look up a data table, and we're going to do a table view. And first off, we're going to get the related line items to this deal. So we're going to search up line items, select all for the existing view. Let's hide that database table. Then below, let's do a heading. And for the heading, we're going to say related line items. Drag it on top of this database. And then we're going to select these 3 circles, and we're going to edit the properties that are shown. And we're just going to get rid of deals / opportunities because we're on the deal, so you already know it's related to it. And then let's get rid of these created, these admin level fields. So just select the I for each one of these. And then once you're done with that, we're going to come to filter, and we are going to filter based on the deal / opportunity. So we're going to select deal / opportunities, and then we're going to select contains new deal. Save for everyone. And then let's also add in a view to see the related account or company. So let's do /heading, select heading 2, and we're going to name this related account. And then below, let's do a /, and we're going to again search for a data table view, select accounts / companies, select all as the existing view. Let's hide that database title. Then let's make sure that it doesn't freeze the columns. And again, come in here, and we're just going to show the relevant properties. You can choose whatever you want, but let's get rid of, I'm going to get rid of tasks, projects, deals, and those admin fields. then that should be good. Then let's again filter down based on this record. So we're going to filter and we're going to select deals. And then we're going to select contains new deal and then save for everyone. And then we should be good to go for all of our database templates. We just need to take care of making sure that we set this template as the default. So go ahead and do that for all views. And then let's delete these 2 random ones that we have here and then click open. And then when we select new deal, you can see that we have that quick add and we can see the related line items to this. And then now I'm on this, I'm actually realizing we missed a key major part for relating the deal line items and how we're going to pass up some of that amount information. So you can see we have the price here, it's $2,000, and then we have the deal price is $1,600. We're actually going to want to create a property that's going to roll up this deal price amount. So we're going to come over here and we are going to select the plus button and we are going to do a roll up. And for the relation, we're going to select deal line items. And then for the property that we're going to pull over it's going to be the deal price. And then we're going to sum it. And then for the name of it, just name it amount. And then we'll pull this over to the left-hand side because this is a pretty important field. And so when I go back here and I select open, and let's go ahead and say on top of the managed services that we're going to be selling Google, that we're also going to be selling them just the CRM. So we're going to select new related line item, and then we're going to name it OptiOp CRM. And then for the product / service, we're going to come in here and we're going to go ahead and add in OptiOp CRM. And you can see that the price is automatically added. But we need to make sure that we enter in the deal price. And let's say, again, we gave like a little bit of a discount. We actually sold it for $25. You can see that the discount amount has been changed to 5. And you obviously can create a formula like on that to see what's the discount percentage. But now when I go back to that opportunity, you can see that amount has added in the $25. So we can come here and you can see the price, but the deal price, and we probably want to move this to the left because that's more important. But we're going to go ahead and sum this one. So you can see the total amount related to Google and this deal is $1,625. So just to really make this hit home for you guys, let's go through just the process from the beginning of account to all the way where we're closing a deal. And then after that, we're going to add in some views to make this all look pretty and for you to be able to find data easy. So first off, we're going to create a new account and we're going to come in here to account/companies and we're going to select new. And for this new account, we're going to name it Tesla. You can put yourself as the owner or one of your other team members. You're going to say that the lead source came from social media. The relationship right as of now is prospect. The employee count, I'm sure they've probably got something like, 50,000 employees. And then the website is www.tesla.com. And now that we've created this account, we also want to create a related contact. So we're going to enter in new related contact. And then let's enter in Elon Musk and, enter in that email, tesla.com. We'll leave out phone for now, but we'll put this as CEO for title. And then let's go back into the related account after we've created that contact. And let's also create a related deal. So we're going to select new related opportunity, or you might have named it deal here, but let's select plus. And then we're going to create one that says like Tesla, and then let's say they want to do Notion services with us. So Notion services, and then the type is going to be a new. And then here on the opportunity, we need to create that line item to represent that they're trying to purchase Notion services. So we're going to create new related line item. We're going to name this Notion services. Then here, we're going to add the Notion monthly managed services as the product. And then let's say we didn't give them a discount, it's just straight up $2,000. So 2000, there's no discount amount. And then let's go back into the opportunity. You can see that the amount has been changed to 2000. And as your team is going through the process, they're obviously going to continue to change the stages. But, let's say they went ahead and said yes. So we're going to go and change this deal to close one. We've officially won this deal. And now that we've moved this deal to one, let's come back to the Tesla account, and we're going to change the relationship from prospect to customer. So there you go. That's how it works from the very start of the process of working with the customer to the very end. Now let's go ahead and adjust our homepage here to pull in all of our data so that we can easily understand how much money we're bringing in and what are some of the prospects we're working. So over here on the left-hand side, let's go ahead and start with doing a slash, and then let's look up 2 columns. And we're going to create a call out here on the left-hand side. So do slash call out. And then for the icon, let's go ahead and search for database. And we're going to select this little database icon here. And we're going to name this callout section databases. Let's then bold it and then underscore it. And then let's drop down these databases into here one by one. And then once you've gone ahead and added all those databases here, we're going to come over here to the right-hand side. And you can see you can drag this to determine how big you want this to be. But we're going to come here and we're going to do a slash, and then we're going to create a database, and we're going to do table view to start out, and we're going to search for deal/opportunities. And then we're going to do all. And it looks like I accidentally created 2 sections here, so I'm just going to delete this. This looks a little bit better. Let's drag this over here. And then we're going to hide that database title. And we're going to create a new view here that's going to be plus. And we're going to select deal/opportunities, but we're going to create a new empty view. And we're going to name this one deals this month. For the icon, let's go ahead and select the money icon. And then we're going to click out of it, and let's go ahead and you can keep the all if you really want to, but all over time is going to add up to be a lot. So we're just going to delete this one, and it won't delete it from your other database. Don't worry about that. But we're going to filter down this database view, and we want to go ahead and filter it down on the date that we won that deal, but we haven't added that property yet. So we're going to select plus, and then we are going to look for a date field, and then we're going to name this one close date. We're going to move this all the way over to the left-hand side. And then we are going to say that we won the Tesla deal on today, September 8th, when I'm filming. And then while we're here, let's also just change Google. We're going to say that we lost the Google deal. And we also, for whether it's close won or close lost, we always want to be tracking exactly, when that happened. Let's say that for Google, we lost that deal on September 3rd of 2023. Then let's go ahead and filter down, and we're going to first start off by filtering deals that are closed won. And then we're going to add another filter. This is going to be where the close date is relative to this month. Then you're going to select save for everyone. And then let's say that we actually just want this to be like a gallery type view. So we can come up here to layout, and we're going to change this to gallery. And let's not preview the page content, but let's make this card page large. And then let's go back, and what we're going to do is for properties, let's show first off the close date, then the stage to show that we won it, and then finally that amount. So now we have a great view to see how you're performing on a monthly basis. And obviously, like if you have other types of opportunity views that you want to add in here, such as deals lost this month or deals won this entire year, you can add them here, or you can create other pages that go into greater detail on views that you're wanting to see for your entire team. But the most important part is that on the left-hand side, we have created that foundation for you to be able to parse the data as much as you want. So let's get rid of this database title. Then let's finish this homepage off just with adding some contacts as well as the accounts. So I'm going to come down here and I am going to create a new data table view. And what we're going to do is we are going to look at ones that are account/companies. And let's create one that is prospects and then customers. So let's change, because we lost that Google deal, we're going to change them to a prospect. And then here on the plus, we're going to create a new view and we are going to do account/companies. And for this view, we're going to name it customers. Select done over here on the right hand side. Let's go ahead and get rid of this all view here. And then for customers, we can, let's just keep that cityscape icon. Then let's get rid of the database title. And then all we need to do here is we're just going to filter down based on the relationship equals customer. Save for everyone. And then let's create another one for our prospects. So again, we're going to select on account/companies. Let's go with the customers one. And then we just simply need to change the name of this. So from customers to prospects. And then we can filter down based on customer. We're going to change that one from customer to prospect instead. Save for everyone. And then you can see we have Google here, and then we have Tesla here as a customer. Now let's also create a contact database view where we can see who are our customers and prospects contacts wise, not just overlying company or account. So we're going to do /data table, table view. We're going to look for contacts/people. For now, we're going to do a new empty view. Then we're going to put in customers and then search for that person icon. Select done. Let's get rid of this database title and let's filter down. And we're going to filter down based on that company relationship. So this is where it comes in really handy for having account at the top of the hierarchy, because what we can do is we can easily push data down from the account onto the contact. And that makes it so we can filter down on data in unique ways that weren't possible previously, unless you were to create a separate field, and then that can make it so data can become misaligned on your database over the long run. So we're going to filter down by company and relationship. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select customer and then save for everyone. So you can see Elon Musk is one of our customer contacts. And then we're going to create one for our prospects. So contact/people. Let's select that customer one, but then we're going to change it to prospects. And then we're going to come to that filter and we're going to change it from customer to prospect. Save for everyone. And then you can see Ben Taylor and Joe Smith, they're both prospects and they're related to the Google account. Now we could obviously keep building and building this for forever. There's so much that you can do with Notion and building a CRM, but I think I've given you guys a great starting point for just understanding how to build a CRM in Notion. I will be releasing future videos on how to add on top of this CRM that you've just built, such as adding other business tools such as like campaigns, billing, and invoicing. But if there's anything specific that you want me to help you build out, go ahead and drop a comment down below. And also know that if you don't want to continue to build this out yourself and you just want a very good CRM built out, I have a free CRM down below in the description of this video that uses all the same things that we just built here, but it goes ahead and for, products and services, deal line items, we have database templates for all of those. And because we just worked together together on building this out, you're going to have a really good understanding of how to manage that CRM long term. Thanks for watching this tutorial, and I hope that the CRM is going to help you become more efficient in running your business.